The next thing is operators, the famous operators, arithmetic, relational, logical operators in Java. So these operators we have used in other languages: arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators. These are binary operators. Why I say it's binary? They take in two operands. Arithmetic operators. What are those arithmetic operators? Let's take a look at it. In Java, you have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo. Modulo is nothing but it gives the remainder, right? So these are binary operators which take in two operands and then it gives you a result. Let's take up a very simple maybe addition program. So I'll initially say int a equals to very simple programs we'll have just to get a feel of what addition a plus b. So you're going to run this, yeah, two numbers. What are the commands? Control S for saving, Control F11 for running the code in Eclipse. Okay, so addition program we have done. So arithmetic operators are very basic. Only thing I have to show you here is, let's say we have division. I am dividing 4 by 2, right? I mean A by B. What will be the output here? What is the division of these two things, A and B? Yeah. What will be the quotient? It's 2, right? So A is an integer, B is an integer. When you divide two integers, the result is also an integer. In Java, it's that's how it is. So let us take a look at this. Say, what happens to the result now? A is 5, B is 2. A by 5 should be 2.5. But since an integer by integer gives you an integer result, automatic type conversion happens, and then what will happen is the result will be a 2. So you are losing 0.5 here. So how you can adjust this issue is, you can very well convert this to a double and a double here. Now when you execute this, you will see 2.5. This is one way of doing things. Another way is, say I'm going to have this as an integer, I'm going to have this as an integer, but I want the result alone to be a double. Say I'll have double result here is equal to now A by B. If I just print the result out, what will be the output here? Will it be 2.5 or 2? It's still 2.0. So how to address this issue is, we can explicitly typecast it by within quotes. You can say, okay, I want the result to be typecasted to a double and assigned to this double. So now when you execute this, you will see 2.5. So when you divide an integer by integer, it's always an integer. So you want to make it a float or a double, or you have to explicitly typecast it. So this kind of an issue you will get while you're finding, say, area of a triangle or something like that, while you're dividing numbers in an expression. All of a sudden, these integer values may be rounded off and you may get wrong results. So you have to see what is that you're assigning to, and what kind of typecasting you have to do. So arithmetic operators done. There's also one more thing. Have you heard of unary operators? What is a unary operator? Plus plus, minus minus. You would have used in loops in C++ and C, I plus plus, I minus minus. So what is this? You give me the answer. We'll talk about these operators, that is post increment and pre increment, and post decrement and pre decrement. So int a to be 2, and we'll have this int b is equal to a plus plus sys out b. So what will be the answer here? What will be the value for b? 2. So what is that we are saying here is, we will have the answer to be 2. That's because first we are assigning the value to b. B gets 2. Then we are incrementing the value of a. So when you're using this in an expression, that's how it is. First we'll assign, then we'll increment. That's why it's post increment. But if you want to do the reverse, first I want to increment, then assign, then what you have to do? Plus plus a. Now what will happen? First it will increment, then it will assign. So it is pre-increment. The same thing applies for subtraction too, post decrement and pre-decrement. So these are unary operators because they take up only one operand. The same thing what we have done in the other languages, not a big problem. The next kind of operators are relational operators in Java. So famous relational operators which we know, double equal to for comparing two operands, whether they are equal or not, and not equal to, greater than, less than, is less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to. Very familiar. Let's quickly take up some examples here. Comparing two numbers, let's delete this. Let me um, say int a equals 2 and int b equals 2. Now, the point is I want to compare these two numbers. How will I compare? I'll use a if statement. So you're learning the syntax for an if here too. So what is the syntax for an if? If open close parenthesis and let me first finish this. You have to give the expression within the parenthesis. What is the expression? A double equals b. So this expression using a relational operator will always return a boolean value, either true or false. Either A is equivalent to B or it's not equivalent to B, right? So A equals B, and the syntax here is you open close parenthesis, this out we say they are equal, right? So if this is true, the block of statements here will execute. If A is not equivalent to B, else you open close parenthesis, this out, the else block will execute. They are not equal. One important note, never give a semicolon here or this colon here. If you are used to Python and things like that, you will by mistake give it here. So all these are issues. But you should ensure that you should give semicolon for the statements within the block. Okay, so this kind of a thing, semicolon is mandatory in Java. So have this in mind. So what will be the output here? This is a simple comparison. So you're getting some complete. So what is the issue here is this is another thing. See, you have a method, you have a class. So you open the class and you open the method, but you have not closed the method. So a bracket is missing. So it's very clearly says whenever you get an exception, an error like this is like a serious error. So it's like it says insert parenthesis to complete the class body. How clearly the error gives you the message. So whenever you get an error in red, don't panic. Some students immediately faculty come here, fix this error for us. The first thing you have to do is read what the error says. It also tells you in which line number where the error occurs. Student Java in the student class, which line number? Line number 16. So you can very well see it says this is where the error is. So you have to go and analyze and fix it. This is fine. So they are equal. So equality operator, we also have not equal to operator. What is the syntax for not equal to? This is the syntax. And less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to. So no need to spend much time here. Only one important thing you have to understand with respect to equality operators in Java is, say if I have two strings, string name is equal to new string, I'll declare the first string with the content Satish, and string, this is another string name 2 is equal to new string. Don't worry about the syntax, I'm just declaring two strings here, and both these strings are having this value Satish. Now I should never compare two strings like this, name equals name 2. Even in other languages you have string compare functions, you're not going to directly compare them. In C++ you didn't directly compare it, right? So why you didn't do directly compare it? Why we have to use the string compare functions? We'll come to that later. But here, if you use it like this, see, name points to Satish, name 2 also points to Satish. And if I say name double equals name 2, what will be the output here is they are not equal, because they are pointing to two different address areas in the heap. So they are not actually pointing to the values. So that's why when you declare strings as objects, you normally don't compare strings using a double equality operator. So that's about relational operators. Are you all fine? Don't worry if you are not clear with what this declaration of a string is. We'll see that in the coming classes. Logical operators. What are logical operators? You guys know and, or, and not. So what is and operator? And we'll learn this with an example. We'll learn logical operators. So this is the command statement in Java, single line command and operator in Java. So and operator in Java, the notation is a double ampersand like this. And if you want to go with a block comment, you start this. This is a block comment, and you can have multiple line comments, and then you can close it. So these are command statements in Java. So how will you use an AND operator? Say I love some numbers here. Int A is equal to 5. You can also declare in the same line. B is equal to 3, and int C is equal to 2. You can also give int A is equal to 5, comma B is equal to 3, comma C is equal to 2. That's also fine. So now, what is that I'm going to do here is, if I'm going to have a condition here. What is that condition? If A is greater than B and A is greater than C. This out. This is working. Else, what we will say? This out. This is not working. And just some demo. Now, how this works is, if A is greater than B. So you have two expressions here. A is greater than B. Is A greater than B true? So this evaluates to a true. Is A greater than C? It evaluates to a true. Only when all the expressions evaluate to a true, the first block will execute. So that is the use of AND. You can have A greater than B and A greater than C and D greater than G, or like you can have a series of AND conditions. Only when all the expressions, this expression, everything evaluates to true, the first block of code will execute. If any one of the conditions evaluate to a false, the else part will execute. So here A is greater than B and A is greater than C. So what will be the output? This is working. If any one of the conditions fail, what will be the output? Say if C is 8, now what will be the output? This is not working. So AND operator, if statement, very effective operator. Anybody, I think every person who logs into a system on this planet interacts with an if statement and an AND operator. So the moment you log into VTOP, what is that you enter? Your username and password. So how you get validated? If your username that you are giving in matches the username in the database and the password you are giving in matches the password in the database, redirect to the home page. So what is that? That is welcoming the user, an if statement with an AND condition. That effective this logical operator is. Everybody in this planet interacts with this. What is that? Or. That's something like or, which is a reverse of this. That is, I mean, this is the notation for an or operator. Some languages is just or. In some languages, this symbol comes up. Uh, so in Java, this is the notation. And what is this? If any one of the expression evaluates to a true, this block will execute. Only when none of the expressions evaluate to true, the else block will execute. See, now A is greater than B or A is greater than C. This is true, this is false. Which will execute? The first one. So that's the or operator. This is working. So and or, and there's one more operator called not. The not operator, the notation is not like this. We'll see what it just reverses the logical state of the statement. Let's take an example here. See, you can have a boolean variable, boolean k. I'll initialize that to true. If I have if k, what will be the output here? This is working because if it's true, we have seen that, right? If this expression is true, if the evaluates to true, then this will work, or else this will work. What is not is it reverses it. We are checking if it's true. Now we'll check if k is false. What is not of k? Is k equal to false? Is k equals to false here? K is not equal to false. So what will be the output here? This is not working. So this will be used in scenarios. wherein you want to reverse the logic state of it and check. So that is the use of not operator. So we have gone through all the operators, logical operators, relational operators, and arithmetic operators. So I want